And of course, so it goes to show that maybe there's a whole lot to do. They've lost two home games this season. They lost in the first league game of the season against Nembe City. But they've won an away win against 3S in Ibadan. So
you talked about motivation not long ago. You know, there is this saying that when you pay peanuts, then you should expect a monkey business. So in this case, I mean, what is the club management doing in terms of motivation? I mean, it's a thing of give and take.
Yeah.
You motivate them, then of course you can give them the ultimatum to produce results. But then in Nigerian club football generally, sometimes I wonder what the winning match bonus on the average is for any club side.
It's a shame, really. It's difficult to. When you see this, the coaches getting a 5-match ultimatum, you wonder if the management are looking at the angle of the players. I mean, this is a man who has to work with damaged tools, because if you're not paying somebody, I mean, you don't expect him to monkey business, like you said. You don't expect him to get to the field and do a good job. But I hope that the management of Heartland, I pity some of these clubs. I mean, if you do business, you have to do business to make profits. These guys are running business without making profit. And, you know, so the players suffer. If you're going to spend 1 naira, at least you should expect that you make an extra naira on top of your investment. These clubs are not doing that. I wonder how they make ends meet. So naturally,
I mean, a lot of these clubs are actually funded by the state government, so they don't necessarily have to bring anything back into the government coffers.
Yes, and it's like a drain pipe.
And government actually has very deep pockets.
Yeah, it's like a drain pipe. Whatever goes in, nothing comes out. Nobody's going to ask questions. So once money comes in, people there just suck it dry, get whatever they can get. The players are left to suffer. And once in a while, they get to go on strike, because that's the only language some people understand. Once they go on strike, they hear them, pay them some of the money they are being owed, and the guys go to the field and do business.
Well, Heartland have a 5-game ultimatum, the coaches most especially. Well, when we go up north to the North Central, and particularly in Makurdi, the Benue State capital, well, it's no ultimatum for the coach. They actually have a new person in charge. Well, coming off the back of a home defeat, a very spectacular home defeat at the hands of Bayelsa United. 3-4, they lost that game, and then, well, maybe somebody else has to take charge and turn the fortunes of the Makurdi-based club around. And so it's Coach
Evans again, former Enyimba, former Jigawa Golden Stars coach, and then this team. He's definitely going to be taking over from John Zaki, an ex-international, who actually was the coach of the Lobby Stars feeder team before he was moved up to handle the senior team in interim capacity.
And actually found that burden very heavy to carry.
But of course, even though Lobby Stars look like one of those teams that people see as the big guns in Nigerian football, but this season has not been very.
It's been an abysmal performance.
This season,
hovering fourth from bottom.
Yeah.
Yes, fourth from bottom. They've lost 2 home games this season. They lost to Kwara United and they lost to Bayelsa United. And so you want to expect that you do some kind of restructuring.
Something has to be done.
Yeah, and so it means something else about for. Of course, given the pedigree of Evans Ogoyin, of course, you know, in Nigeria you have coaches who are used to handling some of these clubs, so they don't go jobless. Like in England too, in some other countries, you don't have coach go jobless. Once a coach leaves his job, another one is coming to step in. The other one is coming to take the other job, like we've seen in the last couple of seasons. Like that couple of weeks in Europe, where coaches keep moving from club to club and club, you know, you speculate that this man is moving down here. So it's not common to Nigeria; it's common over the world. And so we hope for it changes the fortune of this club, because for Lobby Stars, the result at home has not been very fair to them. Even their road trip has been an abysmal performance for Lobby Stars, and who knows? Maybe we will just change the fortune of the club.
Well, if you're talking about abysmal performances, then it now brings us to another issue altogether. I mean, I think if any club is looking for a coach that can produce results, then maybe they should go for either the coach of a Division 4 club side, Police Machine, or Plateau United feeder team. I mean, these are teams that are capable of scoring like basketballers.
Hammering their opponent.
Yes, I mean, Police Machine obliterated Babayaro Football Club of Gombe 67-0. That team from Yola in Adamawa State, that's the Police Machine team, defeating the Gombe-based team, Babayaro Football Club, 67-0. But if if you think that was something, then of course, what about the Plateau United feeder team? Not the main Plateau United team, the feeder team, able to score 79 goals, almost 80 goals against a Kurba Football Club from Nasarawa State. I mean, to all intents and purposes, these could qualify as world records.
Sure, yeah, if it actually happened. If indeed it actually happened.
But it did happen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it happened fair and square, if it actually happened fair and square, I mean,
now that's the big question, whether it happened fair and square.
As an aside, anyway, some people have joked that Keshi doesn't have any problem. He just needs to pick strikers from these teams, and surely, I mean, the problems in the Super Eagles club. But this is a shame, really. I don't see anybody. It hasn't happened before. Not even in the days when they said Indians were throwing balls into the net. I didn't hear.
I mean, those were absolutely legends. I've checked the records and nothing like that really
wasn't
happened.
true anyway.
But you know, when I actually heard about this, I said, look, even if you decide to have something like a novelty match, and then you pit our Channels Bombers against Manchester United, you will definitely not have this kind of scoreline for 90 minutes.
No.
Charlie, is the only way you can get that is maybe you don't have a goalkeeper.
Yeah, or some sort of connivance.
Yes, you don't have a goalkeeper. I think that's the only way you can get that scoreline.
But even without a goalkeeper,
but you know that all over the world, this is the story that is trending.
Yes.
This is the story all over the world. On ESPN, on BBC, on Sky Sport, this is the story.
Because it's surprising.
Because it's surprising. And the way the story went, it was like, okay, this team and this team are struggling to become who wins the group.
Want to outdo each other.
Yes. And at the end of the first half, it was 6-7-0. Second half, it became a different ball game altogether. It was like a basketball scoreline. So that was how. It was even the story itself, not even the scoreline.
Use my imagination. I just keep wondering what the opposing players were doing.
No, they were not there. The opposition was non-existent.
You mean, okay, they walked off the field of play?
Not that.
They can stay in the field and just say, okay, just pass.
Just do what you want to do. Just keep scoring the goals.
But we've seen that 3-0 at the World Cup qualifiers.
Well,
we've seen 17 at the World Cup qualifier. Australia beat Western Samoa at 33.
Yes.
We've seen that before. You understand? So at least I don't know whether
and then of course this time around Nigerian clubs have upped the ante. Well, the Nigerian Amateur League is actually they've suspended all the clubs involved. They will investigate what really happened, and even the match officials themselves have been sent on suspension.
They have questions to answer.
I think it has to be not just suspension. They should call these people for an inquiry. Ask them.
Well, that's part of the investigation.
That's part of the investigation. They must investigate, and whoever is found guilty. It's not just suspension. Suspension. What kind of suspension? You ban these people for life, because all over the international media, this is what is trending. It has gone, because if people get winds of this, people will say, okay, let's see what happened. We put that on record, Guinness Book of Records. Of course, it goes into the record books, but not for the right reason.
When we talk about records, these matches were they actually filmed? Maybe somebody used his phone to, but I mean, you see, that's a problem.
Were there fans to watch this game? How many fans watch the game? Because maybe some of the fans were the arranged kind of fans that we want to see an accord game, like people used to say. The word they use, accord. Let's play an accord.
Oh yeah.
Because this is purely an accord. This is pure match fixing.
Yes.
This is pure match fixing.
In its raw form.
In its raw form. We can excuse some result, but 17, 79, 67. It's an embarrassing scoreline.
Well, an embarrassing scoreline, and while Nigeria carries the embarrassment and the rest of the world is rolling in laughter, well, maybe we'll have to move to another climb where this kind of thing will never ever go undetected and will never go unpunished significantly. But there are players in the world, you know, who would very much work hard, produce the results, and get rewarded for it, whether globally, internationally, or even nationally. We'll be taking a look at some of these very outstanding players in the European season.